Hello. It is Lynx here, and I am here to read Chapter 7, the final chapter of A Mix of Discoveries by ZomKitty 2012 on AO3. All the same warnings, tags, and characters apply. So without further ado, let's hit it. Chapter 7, A Secret for Two. A week later. Midoriya had just finished the last paragraph of his fourth analysis folder. There was a big order coming up, and with how many they've asked for, he was on the edge of believing this is a trap. But that doesn't mean he won't deliver. Just more carefully. He had already asked his sensei if he could go out today, and surprisingly, he said yes. But he did say that he would need someone else to accompany him, as he wouldn't be available. So he did the only reasonable thing and asked Monoma, also known as his online best friend. Hey, what is it? What did you wake me up on 9 a.m. on a Sunday for? Well, wanna go on an adventure to make a delivery? Sure, I guess. I'll meet you at the front gate. And with that, he walked off, presumably to the front gate. Izuku met him at the gate and they began walking, but it wasn't long before Monoma asked, "What is the adventure?" It's an analysis drop-off. Wait a moment. An analysis drop-off. Meaning you have already done analysis for someone. Do you even know this person? Well, no, but I may or may not have an analysis side job, so I know the rest, and I always make the drop-off location somewhere I'm familiar with. Their conversation lingered up until they were only around 2 blocks away from the location. I have a spare hood and mask in your bag. I suggest putting them on so you're not recognized. Alright, yellow hood and black mask. Quite fitting to say the least. And with that, the silence grew as their walk continued. Radio static sounded before Razorhead spoke. Someone with a Viridian hood, red shoes, a black mask, and a yellow bag is reaching the location drop point. This is presumed to be Yami Kumo. She has someone with her, a male with a yellow hood, black mask, and black shoes. All members proceed with caution, entering location. Eraserhead clicked off his radio, beginning to walk out from behind the corner he was hidden around. When Izuku says he was shocked, that was an understatement. This was his homeroom teacher. His homeroom teacher who taught him every day and had risked his life for his class multiple times. The same person that was also user 1287645 and had bought a bunch of analysis from him. So yeah, he was shocked and also frozen. Hey, you're the dude that needs the analysis, right? Monoma said. His voice altered in a way that he hoped wasn't familiar. Yeah, I am. The buyer of 4 analysis folders from the woman Yami Kumo, said Razorhead. Wait, a woman? Monoma was caught off guard. He didn't expect Izuku to be known as a woman when he was trans female to male, so this identity had to be from before the transition. Yes, of course, Yami Kumo, or trans male, Monoma said, informally, beginning to shake Izuku to get him to unfreeze, which eventually he did. After there were 3 cops surrounding them, and Eraserhead had a scarf launching at them. Monoma didn't exactly know what to do. Izuku had tears rolling down his cheeks and was shaking. They were bundled together in Eraserhead's capture scarf, and there were multiple officers. He didn't even know what they were probably being arrested for. He needed context badly, but the only ones who had that was Izuku, who was obviously terrified, and Eraserhead, or basically any cop which were currently acting hostile. Eraserhead knew they weren't doing anything seriously illegal, but their information was being too widespread, and he didn't know how they were gaining it. So they were doing a temporary arrest, and were gonna hold her and the other guy in the station until they confessed. But of course that included getting who they actually were, which they would check once they got back to the police station, which they were now approaching. The cuffs clicked, they walked, the door opened. They sat, and finally it was time. The reveal, to see who this mystery analysis person was. He lifted the Viridian hood, and there it was, fluffy green hair, green eyes that normally shone with determination, and an unrecognizable face of Izuku Midoriya. This all made sense. The analysis, the height, everything except one. What the other, who once removed the hood, was revealed to be Monoma, had said earlier, a trans male. So with any mystery, Shows had dug deeper. He looked at Midoriya's file, not the school one, the police database one. He saw it. He saw that around 2 years ago he had legally had his name changed. He also saw that up until a couple of months ago, he was registered as Quarkless. This was a terrible pairing. Being quirkless alone is terrible. It's not uncommon to see them on rooftops, and the statistics show how the majority are killed or commit suicide before the age of 18. Even many trans people, specifically young trans people, are known to commit before 18. So yeah, this was terrible, and he would understand why his student wouldn't tell anyone. But did his student know he would be supported? Probably not, so he would let him know. He had Monoma escorted back to UA while having Midoriya stay for now. He needed an environment with no interruptions and no worries for him to understand this. He unclicked the cuffs and then it began. Midoriya. Yes, Sensei? You're not in trouble for anything. I need you to know that You're not in trouble for anything. I need you to know that before I start. Yes, I know. Alright then, I looked up your file and saw many concerning things. How and why were you diagnosed quirkless up until a few months ago? Well, I am a really late bloomer. I got it on the entrance exam, so everyone just assumed I was quirkless, and when I actually got it, they figured it was due to how much it impacts my body. It would have basically destroyed my entire body. Aizawa was shocked, and he would need to ask about that later, but he needed to stay calm and continue for now. Why is it listed that you had a name change from Izumi to Izuku 2 years ago? Izuku was shaking, not trembling, shaking. His eyes drifted around the room, attempting to avoid Aizawa until he couldn't, and he just blurted it out. I'm trans, female to male, and I've been out for around 2 years. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner, and how I got Nedzu to change my student file. Aizawa was certain now, and he knew that Midoriya had obviously had a difficult middle school. Not only middle school, but his childhood in general. And he was going to help no matter what. Kid, do you want any other staff to know? No, thank you. Alright, well, kid, I want you to know that I support you, and if you ever need to talk, I'm here. After that, they had both gone back to UA. They didn't talk much about that topic, or at least not until many months later. But for now, he had also decided to text Hound Dog and schedule him therapy appointments. He likely needed them even if he never asked, which Shota didn't think he ever would have. He would make sure this kid got the treatment and help he could now, though. Okay then, so we are now finished reading the entire fic, all 7 chapters. I enjoyed that, and it is my first series for ficking. This was wonderful. I hope you guys enjoyed it too, and be on the lookout for a compilation video with all 7 of the chapters. So remember to eat, sleep, drink your water, take your meds, and when you sleep at a reasonable time. So, bye!